I am their head of construction, maintenance and facilities. And my role is to direct the work of the construction, maintenance, engineers, environmental design team and fitters responsible for the overall supervision and management of all construction sites, including the site setup, setting out, health and safety, and compliance and performance management. My presentation today is on the Water Framework Directive and how it's implemented in the Broadland catchment area. Now, I'm hoping very much that this actually sharing of my screen works and that you can now see what I'm seeing. So this presentation is on the implementation of the EU Water Framework Directive within the Broadland River catchment. The presentation is broken up into 7 different areas. It's identifying water framework challenges, which includes some of the things that's happening in the Broadland National Park, identify the catchment area and explain its geography, identify physical resources which are causing the Water Framework Directive of the catchment to fail, explain what actions are being taken to make improvements, give further actions to demonstrate that partnership working is key to change, and highlight some key projects that the Broad Authority is leading on, and hopefully lend and leave you with a positive message. So the Broadland River catchment is broken up into 4 issues here. Issue, why, the benefits, and how. So the issues are that we need to improve the quality of our rivers, streams, lakes, estuaries, coastal waters, and groundwater. Why? Only 27% of English water bodies are currently classified as having good status. The benefits? Well, these include safeguarding jobs within the local area, improving natural habitats, improving ecosystems, and also improving the ecology of the area as a whole. And how? Well, in 2002, the EU Directive 2000/60/EC established the framework for community action in the field of water policy, or as we know it, the Water Framework Policy, better known as the Water Framework Directive. The Water Framework Directive in the United Kingdom is delivered through the River Basement Management Plan. There's one plan for each river basin. There are 11 river basins within England and Wales, and the Broads National Park is situated in the Anglia Water Basin District, with Norwich being the capital city of this particular region, and the national park is situated just around about here, flowing from Norwich back towards the sea at Great Yarmouth. This map shows you the catchment, tidal limits, major settlements, road, rivers, all impacting upon the catchment into the Broads National Park and its rivers and shallow lakes. It also shows you the location of the Anglian River Basin and the geographical closeness of the Broads National Park to the North Sea. The rivers within the Broads are tidal, and with surge tides event happening at a higher frequency, salt incursion into the freshwater system is increasing. The freshwater mixing with salt is creating a brackish habitat in some Broads. Fish refuge areas have been created, and some agencies are talking about the construction of a tidal barrier. But high economical costs and blocking of the navigation are a few of the major stumbling blocks preventing this ambitious project moving forward. The Anglian catchment is low-lying. Its highest elevation is to the northwest, with much of the east being below sea level. Rainfall in this region is relatively low, although recent climate changes have meant periods of very heavy rainfall. The geology to the west is crag, sand and gravels, with a slightly more peaty layer as you move further east. In general term, peat soils occur around the Broads and the river valley. In fact, the Broads, shallow lakes within the Broads National Park, were formed from flooded peat diggings back in ancient Britain. Our water environment is in a precarious state. Despite much investment and significant improvements in water quality and less nutrient pollution over the past 30 years, our map is at moderate at best, with some significant areas of poor and bad. The Water Framework Directive 2015 target for Broadland is 9% of river water bodies and 28% of lakes to achieve good status. We are currently failing those targets. The Broads is low-lying and located at the bottom of the catchment, so is affected by upstream events as well as the tidal surges from the North Sea. This slide shows you some of the key issues affecting the Water Framework Directive within our basin. Issues like pollution from towns and cities, natural flows from the North Sea, and runoff from intensive farming are just a few of the concerns that we have. To change the status of our waters, we have implemented a number of actions. We have the River Basin Management Plan. Published by the Environment Agency, it outlines the work that a range of organisations are undertaking to assist in improving Water Framework Directive objectives. Water Company Business Plan. This is a key one within our catchment because the Anglian Water is the sole public sewage provider within the entire basin. Its action plan will maintain and improve sewage systems with the aim of further reducing nutrient release on land and also into the water. And then finally, on this side, there's the Broads Authority. We have a 5-year strategic management plan, which is due for renewal in 2016, where climate change, sustainable use of the rivers and broads are some of the issues tackled. We also include actions for a range of organisations, community groups, and non-government organisations based on partnership working and sharing resources. 3 actions is never enough. So a further 3 major action plans have been linked to land and water. They are the land management. Several agronomists, land advisors, and other experts in land management work across the catchment, assisting farmers to comply with good agricultural and environmental conditions, designed to strengthen EU legislation. Catchment sensitive farming is a partnership between Natural England and the Environment Agency. They're working closely together to reduce pollution from agriculture, and it delivers practical solutions and also targets support to those who most need it. And then finally, we have the environmental stewardship. This is central government funding to pay landowners to preserve or improve landscapes, wildlife, and access. River and broad maintenance is a very key element, particularly for my role within the Broads Authority. We dredge over 50,000 cubic metres of mud and silts from the rivers and broads every year, taking this from over 124 miles of navigatable waters. We also have a non-native species. This was launched in 2008 to promote prevention controls, eradication of invasive and alien species. Partners collate and monitor. They develop eradication programs and help us to control these species that should not be in the broads. And then finally, we have the fish barrier plan. Over 150 fish barriers have been assessed, some removed or bypassed. Eels particularly have suffered a huge decline since the 1990s. Under the eel regulation, any water intake has to be screened and structures made passable. To draw my presentation to a conclusion, I'd just like to finish with the management of land and water has evolved into a piecemeal fashion over the centuries and occurs in specific sectors with regional, county or district boundaries that do not reflect the natural boundaries of a catchment. In some circumstances, the planning of improvements to the water ecosystem has failed to make use of the knowledge of those who live and work in the catchment. To sustain long-term solutions linking rural development, flood risk management and environmental stewardship, funding around hydrological boundaries is, in my opinion, required. By working together, we can make the necessary leaps and bounds needed to improve the environment, provide benefits to society and strengthen the local economy. I hope this presentation has opened your eyes to a few of the issues that we have in the East of England. I'm very happy to answer any questions that you may have on work of the Broads Authority or any of the information on the Broads National Park. We have a number of projects, so if you go onto the Broads website at broadsauthority.com.uk, then you can find out a various number of projects that we're working on. And if you want to get in touch with me about any of them, then please find my email address on the presentation notes. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.